Hello guys and welcome back to the Traitors Australia Season 1 Episode 4. Oh my goodness, that gets harder and harder to say every single time I start one of these videos. But I hope you guys are enjoying the series. We are going to be talking about the aftermath of Cash's exit. And I gotta say, suspicions are at an all-time high. 7 faithfuls have left the game and it's just going to keep on racking up, and honestly it's getting a little bit embarrassing. Is it 7 or is it 8? I think it actually, no, because there's only been 3 banishments. Murder, banishment, murder, banishment, murder, banishment. Yeah, so there's 7 that have left so far, and honestly guys, the faithfuls are doing a really bad job. Some of the faithfuls, they're doing all right. They're doing a good job, but then some of the faithfuls, absolutely hopeless. So let's get on into the video, shall we? Now, before we get into the video, guys, we are on the way to 750. That is complete and utter lies. We're on our way to 700. We're almost at 650 as of recording this video. And I just want to say, guys, thank you so much. You guys are absolutely sensational. So you just need to keep up the hard work. We're trying to get myself to 1,000. But like 700 is the milestone we got to hit first. So like, come on guys, if you're enjoying the videos, make sure you are subscribing. And yeah, let's keep the momentum. For some reason, for the last like 4 days, I've been getting 6 subscribers a day, which, as of recording, is absolutely incredible. So just let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep the love flowing. Not too much love though. Come on, be sensible. Okay, so it's time to talk about breakfast, and breakfast was interesting for a multitude of reasons. Matt was very suspicious of the 3 people who voted for him, and he kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with it. He spoke to Teresa and Justine because they had the exact same reasons for voting for him, and obviously he was like, yo guys, where is this, where has my name come from? Have you guys had a conversation about me before? And both of them were like, no, we went in with different names, and then because of the way you were behaving around the round table, we decided to vote for you. It seems really weird that Matt is getting so worked up about the fact that his name is being mentioned at the round table. It just makes him look a little bit suspicious and a little bit sort of like panicky. And then he goes to talk to Fi and no, Fee, my bad guys. Talks to Fee and she basically says the exact same thing, like, oh, I went in with different names and the way you behaved in that round table really made me go, maybe it is you. And I think that's absolutely fair and valid. Matt was not doing a good job of convincing me that he wasn't a traitor, even though I know he's not a traitor. And it just, I can understand why some people would have issues with him. And then later on, he was asking Fee who the witness was, and Fee was like, oh, I thought it was Teresa. And Teresa was like, oh, no, I wasn't the witness. I was just in the car hearing her say that. Like, I didn't witness what had actually happened, so you must have misheard me. And Fee was like, oh, yeah, that probably did happen. I probably did mishear you. I thought you said I saw it, but you probably said I was there, or I saw sort of Olivia telling everyone. I was there at the time when Olivia was telling people. So I feel like Matt is really barking up the wrong tree because he really does believe that Fee or Teresa, one of them, is a traitor. And oh, it's frustrating that he's getting this so wrong, like so unbelievably wrong. It's ridiculous. Yeah, honestly, it's tough. It is what it is. It's tough. Meanwhile, just a couple of more suspicions. Mark openly accusing Angus and being like, yeah, I still think it's you. I still think it's you. I just think it's because you're so lovely. Like, you'd be the perfect traitor. And Mark doesn't realise how right he's got it, and it's actually really funny. And then Angus was basically like, I don't trust Marielle after what she pulled in the last round table, so I don't know, I've got to be wary of her. She could be a little bit problematic. And I was like, interesting, very interesting indeed. The traitors are now starting to not trust each other, and I don't know, that could cause some problems down the line. But on the whole, breakfast was an interesting thing to watch. That's pretty much all I've got to say. Midi was the person that ended up murdered. I think it's a very good choice, actually. Midi was the person that I think they should have murdered. It doesn't matter if it makes them look suspicious, because it's almost too obvious that they would want to kill off Midi. That, like, Mark even jokes about it, like, oh, if Midi goes, you guys are looking bad, to, like, Marielle and Angus. But then, like, once Midi had actually gone, nobody actually brought up the fact that they had got rid of him. So I think that was actually a perfect play, because whilst Kate, yes, is quite dangerous, she hasn't quite worked out who the traitors are yet. She just knows who the traitors aren't. So, I don't know. Midi, we're going to miss you, mate, but adios. So, the mission today was an unfair one, if I'm being 100% honest. It felt like there was no possible way, apart from pure luck, for them to actually get the full amount of money. And when it comes to a show like this needs to be skill-based, not luck-based. And it did kind of wind me up that it was purely luck-based. They were attached to harnesses, and it was essentially like, if you've watched Squid Game, the glass pane challenge, the one where you have to, like, jump on it and then you'll either fall through it or you won't. Except instead of 2 platforms, there's 3. So there's even more possibilities. It was frustrating to watch, because, like, by the time they actually made a solid route through, like, Teresa and Olivia were the other side, and they were essentially the ones that had to memorize the route so that everyone could make it across. By the time that people started making it across, they'd already lost, like, $14,000. They'd already lost 7 people. So, yeah, bit of an interesting mission, I won't lie. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It was all right, but yeah, they managed to get $14,000 in the end. So that brings up their prize pot to something like 48,000, which, like, actually isn't that much after episode 4, considering they lost like 24 grand in episode, what was it? 2, I think it was. Yeah, honestly, they're not really competing for, like, a big prize at this point, but I'm sure Roger will give them a chance to win it all back at some point, so just gotta wait for that, I guess. Okay, before we head into some suspicions, there was a weird note on the hotel desk, and it actually turned out to be the introduction of the shield. They had to go to the lake, and Roger was out there rowing in a boat, and he was like, this shield will protect you from murder and banishment, which is the first time this has ever actually been done on the Traitors. And I think it is an interesting choice. I personally don't like it, but it is what it is. No one should be immune to banishment, but obviously you could be immune to murder. I think as long as it's used sparingly, I feel like this will be alright, and it won't impact the game too much. But all they had to do to get it was swim to it in the middle of the lake. And Angus and Nigel went off to get it. They're both traitors, obviously. They both wanted the shield. Angus because he felt like his name was going to come up. And also, Nigel wanted it just to stop any faithfuls from getting it, so they could just murder who they wanted. Smart decisions, but also, by going so hard for it, you almost look too desperate for it. And it's a fine line to draw. A very, very fine line to draw. So, yeah, Nigel ended up getting the power of immunity, I guess, or the shield. So, yeah, well done, Nigel. Well done. But we do have some drama to talk about. An incident happened during the shield challenge that we've got to talk about. Angus and Nigel, well, Angus was fighting Nigel over the shield and kind of dragged him underwater a little bit. I say a little bit, kind of dunked him fully under, and it was like a bit like, ooh, this is a bit toxic and chaotic. What's going on here? And when they got back, they were talking about it, and Angus was just joking around and he went, oh yeah, murder was on my mind. Yeah, yeah. Like talking about sort of how he was joking about how he wanted to drown Nigel um to get the shield. Fee's overheard this and gone, oh my god, he said, oh, that's lucky. I was gonna murder you tonight. Oh my god, Angus is the traitor. And I just think, how can you get it so hilariously wrong, but also so hilariously right at the same time? Like, and I felt really bad for Angus because his words have clearly just been misunderstood and misconstrued and literally just actually like literally what's the word, just completely got wrong, replicated and made wrong. I can't think of what that is. um yeah, they've just lost in translation, I guess, or it's like Chinese whispers almost. It's just upsetting for Angus's game because once again he's been put in the shit because of other people just mishearing things or like just a situation outside of his control. He just made a flippant joke. Tough, tough, tough. But Angus is definitely trying to lead it back to Olivia, which I think is a smart decision. But Kate is like, it's ridiculous to keep going on about the whole Olivia sitch because it's not that it's not anything. Like, Olivia is innocent. Like, why are we all keeping on going on about things that happened in episode 1 when this is now episode 4 and we need to be talking about stuff that's happening right now, which I kind of do agree with her. I think she's got a very good point. And then Matt was like, I'm going to go try and find that witness. And I was like, oh, leave it out. So he gathered Fee, Teresa, and Olivia and was like, right, what's this about a witness? And Fee was like, we squashed this earlier. We said, I heard that Teresa was the witness. Teresa said, no, you misheard me. I said this. I went, okay, cool. End of story. And Matt's like, no, there's more here. There's more here. But he's just running around like a headless chicken trying to defend himself and save himself. And it's just coming off a little bit desperate and a little bit like he is very, very guilty for no reason whatsoever. He's literally not guilty, but he's seeming so guilty for like absolutely no reason. Ah, Matt does kind of wind me up. He's got kind of like a face that I just want to... I'm not a very violent man, but he has just got a very annoying face. So yeah, maybe that's why I don't have much sympathy for him. But it is what it is. Everyone's kind of turning on him, being like, maybe it is Matt. And honestly, maybe they should just vote him out and see. Maybe they should. So, the round table. Matt decided to start and he was like, guys, there are puppets in this room and there are puppeteers. There are people who are planting seeds, and the people who voted for me at the last round table, they're planting seeds to get me out. It's almost like the whole game revolves around him and his brain, and like the people who decided to vote against him are the ones that are guilty. It's like, no, you were just acting really sus and off, and that's why people voted for you. Do you not see that? Is this not something that is being communicated to you at all? Then Teresa chimes in and is like, yo, you were the one that was running around to everyone laying seeds. And then Matt's like, I think Teresa or Fee is a traitor because there's a witness. And Fee was like, oh my god, the witness story. Are you joking? We squashed this at breakfast. We squashed it with Olivia. We've squashed it. We've been over it. We are done talking about this conversationes. It's done. Please bang on about something else because I'm so sick and tired of this being the one thing. And I kind of do agree with her. She's got good points. She's got valid points. And I'm also kind of sick of it. It's boring. And then Mark was like, Olivia, how did you muck that whole Jack situation up so much? Like, how did you get it so wrong? And Olivia basically just went, lol guys, I'm innocent. Woo! If you want to vote me, we're going to lose another innocent. Like, oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And that was essentially the entire round table. Don't worry, I've already pre-watched next episode because I've got to record that straight after this. Because like I said, I'm away for the weekend. And Next episode has a much better round table, but this one just felt lacking. And I wonder whether it was lacking because, like, it wasn't actually dealing with anything important. It was just Matt versus Olivia, and it's kind of a boring topic at this point. Yeah, I'm kind of done talking about it. So let's get on to voting time, because at least that might be mildly interesting. So, Fee voted for Matt. Teresa voted for Matt. Lewis voted for Olivia. Angus voted for Olivia. Olivia voted for Matt. Dirk voted for Matt. Nigel voted for Matt. Craig voted for Olivia. Matt voted for Olivia. Justine voted for Matt. Claire voted for Olivia. Marielle voted for Dirk, because apparently no opinion is suspicious. Mark voted for Angus. Alex voted for Olivia. Kate also voted for Dirk, and then Paul voted for Olivia as well. So it was a sort of, not a clean sheet against Olivia. It was a good sort of, like, Olivia had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Matt had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there was only one between them, which I found interesting. Yeah, I think it would have been interesting for it to be another tie, but I don't know. Olivia's been banished. We had to say goodbye to her. She got up there. She delivered a cracking speech. She was like, yo, guys, you're doing so poorly because I'm also faithful and you've got rid of another faithful. So, fat L for you lot. Fat L. But honestly, I don't blame her. It is what it is. There's not really much you can do in that situation. So, goodbye, Olivia. We love you. We'll see you. Oh, there's no reunions for the Australian ones, is there? Oh well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, on to Traitors Tower. Traitors Tower was interesting. Very interesting, because the names they threw up were weird. Personally, the fact that no one suspected Marielle and Angus of Midi's murder would make me think that they could go with Mark as a possible person to get rid of, because he's calling out Angus, and it's almost too obvious for Angus to get rid of him. So it would be the perfect double bluff. Does that not make sense to you guys? Because, like, the names they threw out, I was like, Kate, okay, she's very perceptive, but so far she hasn't really been on to anyone. She was on to Cash, saw how that went, and, like, do you know what I mean? And then the other name they threw out was Justine, because she's also quite powerful. But again, she has a track record of being very wrong. I mean, she's voted for, her track record so far is voting for Matt. Let me just go back a little bit. Where did she vote in this one? Where is she? Chloe, also innocent. And Jack, who is also innocent. So she hasn't actually sussed one of the traitors yet. So I don't know why they would vote for those people. But it is what it is. Not really much you can do about it. But thank you guys very, very much for watching this episode. I am just about to record the next episode, which will be up tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoy that as well. And then the Big Brother content starts. And unfortunately, the Traitors are going to have to take a little bit of a back seat. It will be returning because there are some days that I can't do Celeb Big Brother videos on. So it will be back. I've also still got to do The Apprentice. I've got to catch up on that. So make sure to look out for that as well. But in the meantime, thank you guys very, very much for watching. And I will see you guys later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.